What's good, real estate fam? So yeah, I want to jump straight into wholesaling in 2023. I have a lot of videos and stuff on my social media pages or a couple of videos on my YouTube about wholesaling, how to learn how to wholesale, all of that. So this video is for my people in the game right now. Maybe you're making 1 or 2 deals. Maybe you're trying to get your first deal, but you know what wholesaling is and you're trying to really this is the business I want to be in, and what can I do to really dominate, or at least just know how to maneuver right now, because wholesaling it changes. You have to change with the market. You're almost essentially the same as a realtor, but you don't have a license. You have to know the market. You have to know how things are changing within the market in your area across the nation, to know where you can go find deals, to know how to give effective offers and find buyers and connect all those pieces. Wholesaling is a business, and so you have to treat it like one, which means you got to do your research. You got to know what's going on in your market or the markets that you choose. You can't also just jump around to different niches in wholesaling. Some people like to do probate lists. Some people like to go on PropStream and get hundreds and hundreds of lists of vacant properties, zombie properties, tired landlords. You have lists all over the place, and you're wondering why you're making hundreds of calls and you're getting like 3 people. You really want to lock in to one niche. Meaning, do you want to do nothing but probate lists? Do you want to do nothing but pre-foreclosures? Do you want to do nothing but code enforcement? I highly suggest, if you haven't got a deal or you're turning 1 or 2 deals right now, lock in on a niche. You can choose different markets, but just stick with the same niche, because there's different scripts and ways to talk to people with each list and each niche. So you're not going to talk to pre-foreclosure people the same way you talk to for sale by owner or code enforcement or probate. Different sensitivity levels. So when you focus on one lane, you can lock in with your script. It's like you're making the same call hundreds of times, and you're going to get better with your pitch. You're going to feel more comfortable with the people you're talking to, because you have learned that niche, that market. You know exactly how to talk to these people. So probate is one of my favorites. These are people or family members who have passed away, and they have property that they inherited and need to sell or want to sell. With that being said, there's a certain sensitivity level that you might have to have or not. But nonetheless, you're dealing with a motivated seller, and you're dealing with somebody who, they have a property that needs to move. So that's exactly what you're targeting. You found a motivated seller, you stick with the same script, and you continue to move in that direction of probate and lists. So with that being said, once you've picked your niche, you need to do market research. The market, if you're in a big city and the market's hot, you need to know that. So I'm in Atlanta, for example. It's a very hot market. It has been for like 3 to 4 years. It's just been a piping hot market where nothing has really slowed down, besides maybe 4 months within COVID. Besides that, the investors are here, the buyers are here. So if I get a deal and I get it under the right price, that deal is gone. I'm going to find a buyer for it. No questions asked. But I have to be tight on my numbers, and I have to be quick to get to those sellers, because it's moving fast. If there's a probate list or some houses that have recently came out, let's say in the last 30 days, there's probably, if I don't get to those sellers within maybe the first 14 to 21 days, they've probably talked to at least 10 to 20, maybe 30 wholesalers, if their number, is listed in a national skip trace base that all the other wholesalers have. So I have to jump in there, get it quick, get to the seller, and I have to be as professional, get a great rapport with the seller, and get that contract as quick as possible, because it could be 1 hour, it could be 1 day, and another wholesaler who has locked in that profession and has that script down, and they just got things ready to go, they're going to get that contract. Could be hours, minutes, or a day time frame where all that just goes out the window that you've been working hard for. So know your market. Do you have a slow market? Do you have a hot market? Do you need to go outside of your market to find deals that move fast? Virtual wholesaling is a real thing. So don't let where you're at control you, for one. But two, if you're in a good market, you have to be quick and you have to be precise. And you have to get that contract as soon as you can by building good rapport and basically just locking it down as soon as you can. So now that you've picked your niche, now you've got your markets, now we're moving on to maintaining a good relationship with buyers. You need to be talking to buyers if you're in a hot market or even a slow market, because if you have a slow, soft market, then you only have a handful of buyers that can really like buy and close. And you need to know what they're looking for, what numbers they're looking for. If you're in a hot market like me, you can get a list of 10 buyers that like this zip code, like this amount of money to spend, and what type of properties they want to attain. So once you maintain that relationship, this makes you find deals or nail down your numbers on your deals that much faster. So if I know my buyers want to buy between 200 and 400,000, they want to spend maybe 50 to 100,000 on rehab, 3 bedrooms, these zip codes, then when I get these sellers on the phone or I'm looking in those type areas, I can get to my ARV very quickly and know exactly what my buyers are really looking for. I'll at least get a ballpark. So I'm not shooting blind offers. My sellers hear me get back to them real quick with a number and an offer. And when I get that contract, I know who to go to quickly. So establishing a relationship with buyers is the next key step. Once again, you really just want to know your markets and know your research. You have to know all these things and maneuver around that. But just starting off, that's how you need to knock things down automatically. Know your niche, know your market, know your buyers. Then we go on to know your numbers. Right now, a lot of sellers, a lot of investors are buying properties at 65 to 70% ARV, loan to value for the ARV. That means that you need to factor in a lower cost than what you would normally factor for a house that is below value. So a lot of investors are factoring in like a 5 to 10% buffer because the market goes up and down every other month. So your ARV and your numbers need to be tight. Your max allowable offer to your seller needs to be tight. And once again, that goes back to talking with your buyers, knowing your buyers. Once your buyers give you numbers that they use, you should be able to tack sellers like, hey, just give me an hour. I'm going to go ahead and run my research and I'll have an offer for you in about an hour or two. And you'll have a solid offer for them, and either they'll take it or they won't. But you will come off more professional and more targeted, and you will get more contracts, and your buyers will be very impressed with the numbers that you're giving to them. Because once again, wholesaling has become like a wave or a trend. So many wholesalers out there, or pretend to be wholesalers, or people who think they can wholesale, and they mess up a lot of deals and they make sellers run to realtors. But in the case that you're finding these sellers and they're listening to you, you have to be on point, because you get a very small window of getting in these sellers' ear and letting them understand you're professional and you're going to get this deal to the closing table. So they have to trust you, and then they'll trust your number. You lock the contract down. So be tight on your numbers, so that way you don't have to keep going back to the seller saying, we got to go a little lower. You know what your buyers want. You know what your market is. You know what your seller's looking for. That's it. You're a professional. You got a business. That's how you get wholesale deals done. I'm just going over these things right now, that this is how I just regularly program my brain when I make calls. All those things I just discussed, I automatically run through in my brain within about 5 to 10 minutes, all those steps. What does my buyer want? What does my seller need? What is the market looking for? What's the ARV? I'm already running that down within a 5-minute conversation with the seller. So that way I can get through all the sellers, all these calls, lock down contracts, or if not, pass them to the next, go on to the next one. This is just the start of 2023. So a lot of this information I spit out right now should help you in a major way. You don't need to overthink the process. You just need to go back to the basics, stick with the basics, know your numbers, know your market, know your niche, have your script and your report built very strong. That's what's going to get you those deals. Build that rapport, know your buyers, get those deals locked down, and I guarantee you wholesaling is going to be a sweet business in 2023. So hopefully all that information helped. I'm going to keep popping out these videos because I'm actively doing it. And there's so many deals out here. Y'all need to start getting these deals. I can't get all of them. But let's lock some down. Hit me up if you want to, tag team on some deals. If you need some more information, follow my pages, comment, like, subscribe. But I appreciate you tapping in. Happy wholesaling 2023. Let's get it, real estate fam.